The Fed is injecting $300 billion into the market, and Bitcoin goes nuts. Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's Friday. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Crusader, tell the people, how is your day going?
It's Friday, man. It's Friday. I'm excited. We got tons of things going on. Oh, whoa, my mic's all went limp on me, let me tell you. But I got it back up, ready to go, ready to rock and roll.
Glad that we got that handled. Crypto fam, if you haven't already smashed the likes as you come in, make sure to do that. We had a great show yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's show for Around the Charts, guys, we are up in the status quo as it comes to Around the Charts. That's going to be every Thursday. We're just chattering a little bit about maybe doing it a little bit more often. So if you guys like that, smash the likes, drop a 1 into the chat. If you say, hey, we want to see more Around the Charts, we would love to hear from you, the audience. You are the people that make this show happen. So we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right, it's Friday. What's on the podium, Crusader?
Bro, we got the Fed, right? They've been injecting $300 billion. Quantitative easing is back on the table, baby. Bitcoin is skyrocketing. Cardano's have got some pretty interesting changes going on. TVL has some changes, upgrades happening. We're going to be talking about all of that here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, just a lot of things happening in the markets. Things are getting exciting. You can see I got my bull on, so I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's have some fun today. As always, in the chat, we'll be tossing up a couple of the polls. So make sure you interact with the poll. We really appreciate hearing from you during the stream. So we'll throw those up as we continue to move forward. All right, let's check out the markets. Let's start there as always. The global crypto market cap is at 1.13 trillion with the T dollars. I love saying the T on there. I'm hoping for a Q someday. 1.13 quadrillion dollars. My bags will be very fattened at that point. We're up 4.40%. Bitcoin, bro, did I see this right earlier? Did we bust 27K earlier? I know we've pulled back a little bit, but didn't we bust 27 today?
Yes, sir. We hit 27. We hit low 27. We got we came back down, but man, we're on the way up. I told you it wasn't gonna be a straight shot, but up we go. 32%, dude, on the week.
Dude, 32%. That's exactly what I was going to say. That is a move. And ETH, as always, lagging behind a little bit, but up 22%. I'm definitely not complaining about that. You know what the rest of the market's doing. It is sitting green as we scroll through the top 10. Any other big movers? Dogecoin up about 14% on the week. But if you're
check it out on the 24-hour. On the 24-hour at the top.
Oh, yeah. Got you. We've got Immutable X up 70.79%. I bet every single one of you wished maybe you took a trade on Immutable X. We've got Stacks up 82%. Conflux, I don't even know what Conflux is.
Like,
up 112%.
I'm not fully aware of everything that Conflux does, but Conflux is like this Chinese, they're calling it like the Chinese Ethereum or something along those lines. People are like super bullish about Conflux right now.
Oh, whoops. I muted myself for a second there. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but if you're newer to crypto, one of the things that we like to educate here, you're going to see, and it happens every single time, you will see Bitcoin boom. The alts will lag behind, usually Ethereum being the first one to go, and then the rest of the alts will follow after that. That's just basically how it works. Bitcoin has basically got the rest of the market attached to its hip. So pay attention. If you're looking to get into some trades, never financial advice, but if you see Bitcoin booming and you feel like there's going to be a little bit of a run, those alts right afterwards are always a nice little move, and they have a lot lower market cap. So the potential to move, the percentage moves a lot of times is a lot bigger. So pay attention to the markets, pay attention on Thursdays, especially. That's why we bring the best in the game in the TA space. So make sure that you're around here every single week for that. All right, cool. Let me jump into the chat real quick. Say hello to my peoples, our peoples. Unforgettable name, as always, trying to get that first. Bro, you beat me today to the first comment. So congrats on that. I always try to be the first comment, but you beat me today. Matt Jones says, AKA the banker. Great show yesterday. Thank you for being here. Puddles. We got Brad Geidel in the house. New World Crypto. What's going on, Sean? Jeff Sack Nasty. Kenton, as always. We got Billy. Secret Soul Society. We've got Jeff Plyer and running out through. Is that everybody? Yep. Puddles. I see you, brother. Good to see everybody. Let's get
everybody
into it.
smash those likes. Make
That's
sure
right.
you hit the subscribe. You're not subscribed already. Let's get those likes. So we got 12 likes right now. We got 20 people in here. Let's bring those numbers up.
Let's start with Cardano.
Before we get there, let's just some TA about what is happening with the Bitcoin chart right now.
Losing my mind. Show it.
So let me pull that up here. We go. So, bam, wham.
Bitcoin boner. Bitcoin going nuts.
Yeah, Bitcoin's definitely not being limp right now. Bitcoin is, shooting up through this resistance here. We basically hit this 27,000 resistance here at 27,100. We were off by literally a little bit more than $50, dude, from this resistance. So we're coming back down. We're still at this hard line of this regression trend, but we're back in the regression trend, and the regression trend is up and to the right. So that is good for Bitcoin. This is out on the daily right now. As you guys can see, we had, Lux come out here with a strong buy, and it has not been lying to you.
Listen, let me pause you real quick. When we see these strong buys on Lux Algo, and we do have a what's the word I'm looking for? We do have a link, down below the stream for you. But when we see these strong buys on Lux Algo, I'm going to tell you this: I am not much of a trader, but what I'm noticing is when we see a strong buy, you don't see them a lot, but when we see a strong buy, Lux Algo is on freaking point. So if you guys want to check that out, we do have a link down below the stream. That helps out, obviously, the stream, and it's rocking and rolling.
Yeah, dude. Like, look at this last strong that we got by down back here in January. It was no joke. We broke resistance after resistance after resistance, kept pumping. It was like about let me measure this. It was like a 30% move from when we got it all the way up here. Yeah, about 33% move, give or take. So if we follow that along with everything that's happening with the banking system right now, like I said before, I think 30K, this upper band of this range is definitely in the cards.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, very appropriate today. Debate crypto in green. Happy St. Patty's Day. Bitcoin's in the green. They knew. Bitcoin knew. It said, listen, on St. Patty's Day, I got to have these markets green, baby. So happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Be careful out there. A lot of people are excited about the weekend. I saw people talking about that in the chat. As always, please don't drink and drive. Uber is not that expensive and can save your life. I love you guys and care about you, and we want to make sure that you get home safely. So have a great weekend. Have fun. Just get somebody to drive you.
Yeah, right, Ubers are way cheaper than a DUI, let me tell you.
Yeah, that is a fact for sure. Okay, cool. Let's jump in. Let's start off with Cardano. For those of you that Cardano's got a very strong community. I mean, like very strong, almost like a cult-like community. And so Cardano is something that we pay close attention to, not just because of the strong following, but because we love what Charles Hoskinson is doing. And then also it ultimately is, what's the best way to put this? I like Cardano for I like it for the long term, just like I like ETH, just like I like Bitcoin. I believe that this is going to be a project that's going to be around. And part of what's happening and changing with Cardano is we're getting upgrades and the total value locked is going up. It says the total value locked is up over 82% since the start of 2023 as Cardano DeFi grows in popularity. Guys, as more and more is locked up, you have more and more people saying, hey, I am with this asset. I am with this token. I'm not going anywhere. And that's really strong for the community because that means people aren't selling out of the asset. So Cardano's TVL, like I said, up over 82%. One of the influencers, ADA Whale, I know we follow him on Twitter, tweeted about the growth of their TVL and how important it's been for the DeFi ecosystem. He was talking about how basically for tribal, and this is what I was getting into a second ago, for tribalistic reasons, one would be foolish to not, if they were serious about crypto, to not be interested in Cardano. Also, they had an upgrade. And I don't understand, Crusader, you can probably tell me a little bit more about this. I don't understand all of the upgrades, all the nuances with contracts and coding and all of that. I know you do. But they launched an upgrade to their network, Cardano Node version 1.35.6, which promises to offer more resilience to the network. Basically relates to P2P support and delivers dynamic P2P functionality to the Cardano node. So tell me in English, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, dude. It basically, right, upgrades can be very large or very small. It seems like this was a small upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless. That you're adding they're telling you they're adding resilience. It's basically just making things more efficient, making sure that things work faster, better. So that's always important because you always want to be faster. You always want to be better. So it's great for the network. It's great that they're continuously working on flaws, right, and improving their strength to become better.
Yeah,
It's just like a bodybuilder, right? When a bodybuilder has big arms, doesn't mean they just stop working out their arms. They're always trying to build their arms, right?
yeah,
So it's the same thing with Cardano. And that's what you want to see from strong projects, to continuously always build. Any small change that's for the better is always necessary to be put out there. And that's
yeah.
what you want to be seeing. You don't want to see a project not improving, not making new commits, not making new upgrades. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and it's a business ultimately. Charles Hoskinson talks a lot about how he could care less what the price of Cardano is. Okay. Now, in the back of his mind, yeah, I mean, he knows as the price goes up, he's making more money, whatever the case may be. I'm sure he's just fine. I'm sure he's not missing any meals. But that being said, you grow a business, no matter how big a business is, it's always trying to expand. It's always trying to grow. It would be wild for Amazon to say, okay, we're comfortable here. We're just going to go ahead and sit down and just continue to do our thing. Now, in the United States, at least I can tell you, there are a lot of people that would say, hey, we like being comfortable. And I know people in my life that get their business to where they want it and they just say, hey, I'm comfortable. Okay. I also know that sometimes smaller can be better. So there's some different views on this. But the reality is, in the crypto space, this is a decentralized economy that is absolutely booming and growing. You want to see the growth, you want to see the change, and you need to, because technology is always changing, always growing. So yeah, I'm glad to see Cardano continue to do well. Obviously, I hold some Cardano. I wish I could say this is a paid shill for Cardano, because we'd love to have old Hosky
I
hit us up
wish.
and offer us some money to talk about Cardano. Because hey,
Dude,
we'll
with how
talk
much
about
Cardano I
anything that we
hold,
love.
I wish we were sponsored
Yes,
by Cardano.
yes, we would love to be part. Well, we're part of the 88 gang, but we're not part of the paid 88 gang, unfortunately. Shout out to Charles Hoskinson. If you're out there, Debate Crypto would love to be sponsored by you. All right, so that's what's going on with Cardano. Upgrades are happening. Total value locked is up, and yeah,
Which is
things are
also
looking
really
really
important,
bullish.
right? You're seeing the ecosystem grow, right? This is why I'm bullish on Cardano long term, is not just their smart contract game, right? Big, it hit like $3 or something last bull run with no smart contracts. Everybody was criticizing it, and it still had a massive pump. Now we've
Yeah,
got massive NFT projects growing on there, blue chip NFTs coming from the ADA Cardano, from the Cardano ecosystem. We
yeah,
got DeFi total value locked also growing. So there's money being locked there. There's money being invested in, and that is going to be huge. So if Cardano, right, this is my worthless opinion. This is not financial advice. If Cardano could hit $3 with no smart contracts last cycle, there is absolutely no reason they can't rip higher than $3
yeah.
in the next cycle with everything that it's got going on now.
Man, if we continue to press forward the way that we are right now and are able to move towards at some point a rate reduction, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, the wild thing is this is setting up right now. Now, again, there could absolutely be at all times, there can be black swan events. But what I will say is that how it looks right now, we might get, and we'll talk about this some more later, but a Fed pause, and then that'll move towards rate cuts, possibly, next year. And if that happens at the same time as we're pushing into the Bitcoin halving, I'm telling y'all, strap in. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm super excited for anybody new to crypto. There's opportunity still here. It might be your last opportunity. I shouldn't say your last, but it might be your last huge opportunity. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where things head with that. And Cardano will be a big part of
Dude,
that run. I was always
super
so
excited.
frustrated when I had the opportunity to buy Cardano, I think at like 6 cents. and I had trouble with who was it? It was Binance. I had trouble with Binance, and looking back on that, I ended up still getting, I don't know what my average into Cardano is, but I ended up still getting a nice average in there. But man, I was frustrated when I saw that thing rip, and I was like, damn, literally unable to verify my, I think it was my ID or something, stopped
That
me
sucks,
from
dude. That
really
freaking
doing well on
sucks.
that. Yeah, and shout out to Crypto Crow. I was watching him when he was, he's always the Cardano bull. But he was a big factor in some of what I was doing. So shout out to all the other YouTube creators out there that are doing the Lord's work in crypto. We appreciate you. Smash that like, everybody. We've got 39 people in the house. I'm hoping we have 39 likes. Let's see if we can do that. And also, as always, all of our shows are sponsored by Danger Close Alpha. I think we're around 34 mints away, and those mints are on OpenSea. You can go to dangerclosealpha.com. That will show you, the whole scope of what the project looks like and what we have going on. But we are minting right now bullets, beans, and bourbon. Those are 0.01 each. We just dropped the QR code on the screen. That'll actually put a link down into the chat if you're looking to get involved with the project. We're giving away vests. We're giving away 5 Ethereum. We've got a lot happening there, and continuing to, get closer and closer to our May get together, which people who are in the chat that are going to be there, strap in for that too. We're going to have some fun. All right, cool. So next one, NFTs. Okay, this one was interesting because I don't really know that people are very
the doodles.
Yeah, people are feeling different about this. Okay, so let me share this here. Let me pull this up back to the top. My fault. I usually have these all set up, or most of the time I do. Oh, God, I forgot this is the longest article ever. Doodle's no longer an NFT project and won't cater to speculators, co-founder says. Okay, so this one was interesting. When I first read the title, I'm like, wait a minute. It is a freaking NFT project. So how are we going to say that it's not all of a sudden? And people are starting to feel the same way.
Yeah, they feel a way about it for sure.
Yeah, so Doodles is on the Ethereum network, okay? They're facing tension with holders over the project's evolving ambitions and their approach to building their new features and products. Now, Crusader, I got to take a pause here. What if people called you Poopy? This guy's name, the co-founder, Jordan Poopy Castro. Dude, you start calling me Poopy. I don't know. What's the world come to when somebody's calling you Poopy?
If you make as many millions as these people have on that project, you can call me Captain Poopy for all you want.
Captain Poopy. You will be Poopy Castro's big, ugly brown brother. Okay, got it. So Poopy Castro, he's defended the team's approach in the past in their Discord server, right? Stating that they are no longer an NFT project, but are trying to build a leading media franchise. Some people are saying, hey, it's ambitious. Some people are saying, hey, you're rejecting Web3 principles. Without diving too far into it, I will say over the last 24 hours, their floor price is down like 13%. So people definitely aren't happy about it. Let me hear your thoughts on this. So we have an NFT project, obviously Danger Close Alpha. You guys hear us talk about it a lot in the prepper space, in the crypto and NFT space, obviously. Would it be weird for Danger Close Alpha to move into a different sector? Like, is this actually something is it strange, or like, how do you feel about it?
No, I am on board with what the project is doing. I just don't think they handled it properly. Because most NFT projects, if they're legitimate in any kind of way, they're basically a startup company trying to create something, right? Trying to build something more than just a digital collectible. Right, they're trying to build something more than just a digital collectible, and there's nothing wrong with digital collectibles, and that can be their whole entire scope of this is all we want to do. But if you move on beyond that, that's okay as well. Like, we're trying to move beyond just being an NFT project to having a real bunker, having a real location, having real life events. So I just think that they went about it the wrong way, saying we're no longer an NFT project. Yes, you still are an NFT project. It's just you have evolved beyond the scope of just being a collectible in the digital Web3 space. And you have become more of a whatever, whether it's a franchise, a media franchise, a bunker location, an Airbnb, whatever it is that you're trying to build, a movie studio. Maybe you're trying to build a movie studio, right, and make movies that are funded by Web3 NFT sales.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I just think they handled and they worded it the wrong way to their people. There should be
Yeah.
something that the people should be excited about, depending on what it is that they're going for or what is it they're really doing, because that means that the company is going to keep growing. The brand is going to
Yes.
get bigger. There's going to be more recognition. So I think it's good for the project overall. I just think they went about it the wrong way.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. There's a saying in business that says if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you don't recognize that an NFT project is ultimately a small business, large business, depending on, if you're Bored Ape Yacht Club or Danger Close Alpha, right? You fall somewhere in between there, like a small business, large corporation, whatever that may be. If you're not growing, you're dying. So I don't see a problem at all. I agree with you, Crusader. I don't see a problem at all with them saying, hey, we are evolving into something else, but there's no problem with being both, right? Hey, we're an NFT project that owns a media conglomerate. We are an NFT project that are transitioning people in the Web3 space to do a lot more things than just NFTs. We have taken a lot of money from these NFT sales, molded, shaped, and evolved a business. And now we have all of these other opportunities. And think about it. When a business grows like that and you get farther and farther away from what the OG principle of the business was, generally, especially when it comes to a collectible, that does really well, right? You can think back to even like the Wheaties boxes. There's like certain Wheaties boxes that are just absolutely, if they're just in perfect shape, that are worth some money. You've got Beanie Babies, the OG Beanie Babies, right? But these are businesses that are growing in the collectible that it started on, then it goes so much farther than that. So yes, I agree. They just maybe went about it the wrong way by saying we're not an NFT project. Well, that's false. You are an NFT project. You're an NFT project that has a business that is growing, evolving, and changing.
Yeah, dude.
So
New World kills it right here. Exactly what you were saying, right? People are stuck seeing NFTs as digital bean babies only and don't realize that the technology goes way beyond that. And it is going to dominate every aspect of society,
yeah,
one way or another. Everything's going to become some type of digital ownership collectible, some type of digital ownership proof. So NFTs, they might not be called NFTs anymore in the future, but they are going to be using that same technology.
yep, it is digital ownership is what it's showing. Now you have digital ownership partially of effectively, depending on what the deal is in your particular community. You could have partial ownership of a business, depending on how we structured things as we move forward to wanting to have an actual piece of real estate. We could structure that any number of different ways, and it allows the community to grow and evolve with the business. So I think it's cool. I agree with you though. Maybe just went about it the wrong way. Let's take a brief break here. Smash those likes, 46 people in the chat. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate you for being here. You could be anywhere on a Friday and you're hanging out here with Debate Crypto. So we appreciate you for being here. Make sure to hit the bell notification. People had been saying that they weren't getting notified that we were live. So just make sure to hit the bell notification. That will give you the heads up.
I want to also let people know, right? People were asking about the Twitter space yesterday.
Yeah.
Twitter space yesterday was canceled, right? We're making some upgrades. We're getting some new equipment, and the spaces are going to be changing.
Ooh, you want to salt that?
It's happening. It's happening next week, so people need to get ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
The spaces from now on are going to be at the same time as this show, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, right? So everyone that's on YouTube, keep coming back on YouTube. You're more than welcome to be here. And then the people coming on the Twitter space are also going to be hearing the show of what we're talking about, right? We're talking about Danger Close Alpha, we're talking about cryptocurrency events and all the other stuff, right? So that's going to be the overall show on the spaces Monday through Friday, and we're gonna have different twists and turns, right? People are gonna be able to come on stage. You're gonna be able to hear them here live on the show, ask questions to some of our panelists that come on other shows, but as well, we will still continue to have the Danger Close only spaces later at night on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where we talk about the things that we can't talk about here.
Yeah.
So
we'll still be doing those.
Those things are still going to happen. It's just there is going to be a change, and this is going to be the better for the brand, right? To grow the community, to grow awareness of the Danger Close Alpha project out there. And this equipment is going to change how we're doing the show.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think one of the things is, so it's fun for the chat. I've been in a lot of YouTube streams myself. It's fun to, interact with the person that's speaking and like hear your name or your comment or whatever. Like I've done it, right? I absolutely know it's like it's a fun feeling, right? So we were thinking, and as we were talking, we are like, what if we could have some people have the ability to actually, let's say we've got a great panel on, or maybe somebody that's been following us for a while, but we've never really talked or whatever. What if they had the ability to come on and ask a real live question, maybe to one of the panelists? We're like, that would be fun. It's like almost like a call in to a show, and then
Exactly.
we can interact. And so, as we started talking about that further, there's a way to do that. We've got that figured out now. So, we're super excited to press forward and how those Twitter spaces are going to go, and how people in here in YouTube, well, I'm not going to give you all the info yet, but how people in YouTube are going to be able to ultimately be able to live chat with one of our people or ourselves on the stream. So stick around for that. We're hoping to start that next week. Don't pin us to that, but I'm hoping
It's
that we'll be
happening.
starting that
It's
next
happening.
week.
The equipment will be here.
Yeah. So super excited about that. Stick around. All right, cool. The
Let's
moment
dig
we've all
into it,
been
bro.
waiting
Let's
for.
talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the Fed and the
That's
money
right.
printing.
The Fed. We got lots to talk about with this. Heck of a thumbnail, by the way, today. Feds just gave 300 billion more reasons to buy Bitcoin, says Winklevoss. I mean, literally, need I say more? When you inject $300 billion into a market, okay, it's got to go somewhere. And a lot of times what happens when there's some sort of a surplus. Now, let me be clear. It's not some massive, just free for all surplus where there's printing out checks and people just have all this extra money. But people are much more likely to take risk when they have more or when they have extra. And that's kind of what's happening here. So Bitcoin responds, right? Bitcoin went nuts. It hit $27,025 on Bitstamp before consolidating. Now it's somewhere around 26.4, 26.5, something like that. The Fed from the $300 billion injection, really, right? We've seen the uptrend of the markets as a result of just talking about this, right? And there was people like Arthur Hayes. He was the CEO of BitMEX that was talking about a pivot in stocks and crypto, which is super important because, as you've probably heard before, kind of starts in the stock market, pivots over. It's happening, right? The only reason that you saw what I would call some sort of an uneven move where we had a lot of tech and banking stocks going the other direction while Bitcoin was going up was because they were literally like failing. Okay.
We're out of money.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we have a video on this, but I want to just say before we pull that up, it is absolute insanity when we look at when we really break this down. And I think this video does a good job of breaking this down. When we look at how the Fed is handling this, as always, it kind of is, again, kicking the can down the road, as we've told you that they're going to continue to do in one way or the other. They're either pushing it left, pushing it right, but they're always kicking it one direction or another. And it's scary because I see a massive funnel. We talked about it the other day. We went from like 14,000 banks to 4,000 banks in the course of like 20 years. And what is that doing? That is funneling the money to spots or banks that maybe the Fed wants them to go to. So check out this clip. Well, I don't know how much of it we're going to play, but check out this clip.
Yeah, I got some of it pulled up.
Okay, cool.
And before we even share that clip, I'm going to share here this tweet by Peter Schiff. The man doesn't know anything about Bitcoin, but he understands economics. So we got to give him that. So he talks about how the QE is back, right? And how the Fed's balance sheet has swelled by 300 billion, wiping out the last 4 months of QT, quantitative tightening, right? The contraction of money in just 1 week. Gone. That's how quickly it was, right? By the end of the month, the balance sheet could reach a new high. Rate hikes don't matter anymore. Inflation is headed to much higher levels. That's all thanks to the bank bailouts. And I think he's 100% right on this. The rate hikes not going to be able to combat all the money you're throwing into this system, right? So which leads us to this perfectly created clip here. Can you hear that?
No.
Oh.
We're not going to be able to hear it.
I got it.
Okay, cool. While he pulls that up, as always, smash the like, get involved with the Danger Close Alpha community, guys. We're having some fun, and we got a big event coming up May 12th through the 14th.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let's get it.
Will that. Don't have time. I need to be able to drill in on a couple of things. Let me start with some of the banking issues we're dealing with on it. Will the deposits in every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of their size, be fully insured now? Are they fully recovered? Every bank, every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of the size of the deposit, will they get the same treatment that SVBP just got or Signature Bank just got?
Grandma right here.
A bank only gets that treatment if a majority of the FDIC board, a supermajority of the Fed board, and I, in consultation with the president, determine that the failure to protect uninsured depositors would create systemic risk and significant economic and financial consequences.
So what is
And
your
we
plan?
made that determination.
This dude drills
Right.
her. Listen to
So
this.
what is
These
your
two banks.
plan to keep large depositors from moving their funds out of community banks into the big banks? We have seen the mergers of banks over the past decade. I'm concerned you're about to accelerate that by encouraging anyone who has a large deposit in a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole, but if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole at that point.
Listen to her response real quick.
Look, I mean, that's certainly not something that we're encouraging.
Now
That
listen
is
to what he says
happening
back.
right now.
That is happening because depositors are concerned about the bank failures that have happened and whether or not other banks could also
No,
fail.
it's happening
And
because you're
it's-
fully insured no matter what the amount is if you're in a big bank. You're
Yes.
not fully insured if you're in a community bank.
Well, you're not fully insured. And
You
the big-
were at Signature, and
the
it
big-
just barely met that threshold. You were at Signature.
Well, we felt that there was a serious risk of contagion that could have brought down and triggered runs on many banks. And that's something, given that our judgment is that the banking system overall is safe and sound, depositors should have confidence in the system, and we took these actions.
So there's a
to
special
discourage
assessment that's been done
contagion.
on community banks in my state and all.
So
So yeah, basically, she's giving you the answer right there. Right. It's only the special banks. It's only the banks that they deem that are
Yep.
fully insured, which the FDIC is not supposed to work that way. They're the banks that they're gonna get bailed out. Other banks, sorry, you didn't make the qualifications. You just weren't that important. So if your bank did not buy enough politicians and pay Janet Yellen enough, your bank might not be FDIC fully insured, no matter what the deposit.
I want to take a brief comedic break here. In all fairness, what Janet Yellen lacks in economic expertise, she makes up for with her extensive knowledge of casserole recipes. Good one, Sean. I like that a lot. Listen, I want to say this, okay? It's going to sound like I'm defending Janet Yellen.
Sugar
right
Mama
now.
Yellen.
Sugar Mama Yellen. It's going to sound like I'm defending them, but I do want to make this really clear. They're in a bad spot, okay? Because they've got to try to save our economy when it's already freaking screwed. They've talked about a soft landing. They've had all of these plans to fix the system. Now the system is failing like we said that it was going to. Okay, everybody's been talking about this. We've talked about this very specifically. And now what they're doing is they're saying, okay, it's failing. We've got to bail out these certain people. Well, listen, you would be crazy. And what he was saying was correct. You would be nuts if you were especially if you're a large depositor, which is over 250K, to not put it in one of the banks that's going to be fully insured. Why would you ever do that? If you had any sort of certainty somewhere else, that's where you would go. And so ultimately what's happening, you're taking small businesses within these communities that that ultimately prop up, whether you recognize this or not, the banks within these communities prop up these communities, right? It gives jobs to the communities. There's money lent out from these communities, right? And it's going to push people, like I said, like a funnel, right towards where they want you to go. And the question becomes, and you have to ask it, where are they going to funnel you? Are they going to funnel you somewhere that they have no control over? Or are they going to funnel you right where they know they've got you? And that's what I think is happening for sure.
They're going to funnel you into Fed now.
Yes.
Right? That's what. Meanwhile, all this catastrophe is happening. They just kind of like, hey, by the way, Fed now is coming in 3 months, in like January. I mean, in June or July. Fed now instant payment transactions are coming.
Yep.
That's what they're funding you. They're making it bigger. Right? There's already centralized banks. Now they're centralizing even more. Right? The banking system. They're going to allow the smaller banks to die. They're literally telling you to your face, if you're not big enough, we just don't care.
Well,
And you're only
yeah.
big enough if you paid us enough.
That's right. And it's even said like half of the funds were allocated to holding companies for 2 major banks, with the other half going to undisclosed recipients. I'd love to see who those undisclosed recipients were. Now, yeah, the market, the market responded, by boom, busting. You saw Bitcoin up quite a bit. We've seen good, movement from this for a short term. But the scary thing is, where are we headed? And I think that we are headed towards, and you can say this conspiratorial, you can say it's whatever you want. We're headed towards this one world government, this one world banking monetary system. We're headed towards going the direction that that they can most easily control the most people in one place. And if they have that ability, just carte blanche to be able to make decisions, and then they flip the switch. Here's the thing. And then they flip the switch and say, hey, welcome in CBDC. Welcome. I want to introduce my good friend CBDC. Your US dollars will no longer be valid. You'll have this much time to turn them in. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
Let me ask you something. Why do you keep saying XRP wrong?
Wah, wah, wah. They funnel you into this. And then what do you do though? Because you don't have any recourse at that point. If the government comes in and says, hey, listen, US dollars no longer good. Get rid of your mattress money. We're using CBDC. Deal with it. The only other option that you would have, if you had enough people to do it and they didn't restrict you to do this, would be Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies that are decentralized, right? Which again, they're going to make that incredibly difficult. We talked about some energy concerns where they can tax the heck out of energy. They are funneling people where they want them to go as a response to a crisis that they created. Period. They
Like
created
always.
this. Boom. Now they're giving us the solution. And the solution is not going to be good long term.
And meanwhile, they tell you Bitcoin is dangerous. Cryptocurrencies are dangerous. Don't do that. Don't get involved with cryptocurrencies. No. Those are dangerous. Well, you criticized crypto all year long last year because of all the collapses happening. I did. Of course, we saw it happening. Of course, they're laughing at people for losing money in these cryptocurrency exchanges and businesses. Well, now it's happening to the banks, but they never blame the banks, right? I think there was in UK right now. There was one of their senators or whatever you want to call them, lords or whatever it is,
right,
came out saying that they want that if you ban drugs, you should ban crypto. And it's like, well, if you ban money laundering, you should ban banks because that's their primary source of income. Like, what? Like, dude, the math that these people do blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's just fugazi.
Talk about moon math, dude. Literally, it's the idea that, banning the, we'll just say Second Amendment stuff, right? Ban those to stop, people unaliving other people. What do you mean? It's the freaking people. That's the problem, right? Now,
and we're not banning people. We're just importing more.
That's a fact. And then shoving tax dollars down everyone else's throat to take care of it. So there is a problem, a fundamental problem in our country right now. I don't have the answer. I wish I could sit here and say, hey, listen, Keeper's got the answer for you. Crusader's got the answer for you. I don't. They are in a hard position. They are absolutely in a bad position. The problem that I have is I know the direction that they're headed. Crusader knows the direction that they're headed. It is headed towards more control. It is headed towards a CBDC. It is headed towards programmable money in one place where everyone, then they have an off switch, they have an on switch, they have the ability to control when, how, why, where you spend your money, and you're going to be beholden. If you're not already beholden to the dollar, which most of us are, you're really going to be beholden at that point because you just don't have any other options unless people genuinely opt out and say, hey, listen, we're going full Bitcoin. And even then, 100%. The government could make that really freaking tough.
100%. I just want to quickly add I asked the people if they would stay in a DCA bunker.
Yeah.
64% of people are excited about staying at a DCA bunker.
Let's go.
Well, if you want to stay at a bunker, we're one step at a time. Let's get through these beans, bullets, and bourbons. Get your tactical vest. Get your 5 ETH, and meet us at the bunker. Right? That's how it gets done.
Yeah, I'm excited for that down the road. We will not tell you that we are not an NFT project at some point. We might tell you the NFT project has grown. We will tell you that it has grown and is a blossoming business that is continuing to support the community that helped made it happen in the first place. So listen, it's Friday. It's St. Patty's Day. I want everybody to have a fantastic weekend. Go out there, have fun, take your wife out, take your kids out, take your girlfriend out, take your boyfriend out, take whoever you want out.
But don't take them all out at the same time.
Yeah, it gets a little hairy. You know what I mean? You gotta be cautious about who you're putting together and what groups.
That's a large Uber ride.
Yes, definitely. It's going to get expensive for sure. But have a great time this weekend. Just please be safe. Again, like we said, don't drink and drive. Make sure to take an Uber. Have some fun. Get after it. All right. Well, unless we got anything else, I just want to remind everybody, first of all, that we love you. We appreciate you for being here. You could be anywhere and you're hanging out with Debate Crypto on a Friday. We're here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to meet us here every day throughout the week. And we are posting content throughout the weekends as well. So make sure to follow that. Lots of shorts, lots of clips, all that good stuff. But remember, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.